Envy and falsehood are like shadows that can creep into even the brightest of interactions. These subtle yet powerful forces often hide in plain sight, cloaked in smiles, compliments, or friendly gestures. They can destabilize relationships, drain emotional energy, and disrupt the harmony we work so hard to maintain. To navigate life with grace and resilience, it's essential to recognize these behaviors early. Stoicism, a philosophy that emphasizes rational thought and emotional control, offers timeless guidance on how to approach such challenges. The Stoic philosophers, including Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, taught that our peace of mind should not depend on the actions or opinions of others. Instead, they urged us to focus on what lies within our control, our thoughts, reactions, and values. Recognizing envy and falsehood in others is not about casting judgment or seeking revenge. It's about protecting your inner tranquility and ensuring that the energy you invest in relationships is reciprocated with authenticity and respect. Why is it so important to identify envy and falsehood? These traits often lead to manipulation, dishonesty, and betrayal. Envy can poison even the closest friendships, turning admiration into resentment. Falsehood erodes trust, creating an environment where genuine connection becomes impossible. Left unchecked, these dynamics can leave us feeling disoriented, unworthy, or overly defensive. By identifying these behaviors early, you can make informed choices about who to keep close and how to maintain your emotional well-being. Let's start with envy. At its core, envy is a reflection of someone's dissatisfaction with themselves. It arises when they perceive another person's success, happiness, or talents as a threat. Instead of channeling that energy into self-improvement, envious individuals often project their insecurities onto others. This projection might take the form of passive-aggressive remarks, backhanded compliments, or even outright sabotage. While envy is a common human emotion, how someone chooses to act on it reveals their character. Falsehood, on the other hand, is often a calculated behavior. People who operate from a place of falsehood may deceive others to gain power, control, or validation. They might exaggerate their abilities, hide their true intentions, or tell outright lies to maintain an illusion. Falsehood thrives in environments where trust is assumed, but not earned. It often takes time to uncover, but once revealed, it can be deeply damaging to relationships and reputations. The Stoics offer a simple yet profound principle. Observe actions, not words. Anyone can say the right things, but their behavior ultimately reveals their true intentions. Marcus Aurelius advised us to no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This wisdom reminds us that integrity isn't about appearances or promises. It's about consistent, honorable actions. By observing the patterns in someone's behavior, you can discern whether their energy aligns with your values, or if it's something you should distance yourself from. Another critical Stoic teaching is to remain composed and unemotional in the face of deceit. When you suspect envy or falsehood, it's natural to feel anger, hurt, or betrayal. However, reacting impulsively can exacerbate the situation or give the other person power over your emotions. Instead, practice the art of pause. Take a step back, analyze the situation objectively, and respond in a way that aligns with your principles. Remember, your peace of mind is not negotiable. Recognizing envy and falsehood also requires self-awareness. Are you interpreting someone's actions accurately, or are you projecting your own insecurities onto them? Stoicism encourages us to question our assumptions and seek clarity before forming judgments. This approach ensures that your decisions are based on reason, not emotion. For example, imagine a coworker who consistently downplays your achievements or makes subtle jabs during team meetings. Instead of immediately labeling them as envious, take a moment to reflect. Are there external factors such as workplace pressure or personal struggles influencing their behavior? Once you've considered the broader context, you can address the situation with empathy while still protecting your boundaries. In personal relationships, envy and falsehood can be particularly challenging to identify because they're often hidden beneath layers of affection and history. A close friend who envies your success might overcompensate with excessive flattery or avoid celebrating your milestones altogether. Similarly, a partner operating from falsehood might conceal their true feelings or intentions to maintain harmony on the surface. Recognizing these dynamics requires both vigilance and courage. So, how can we protect ourselves without becoming overly suspicious or guarded? Stoicism teaches us to focus on building our own integrity and resilience. When you prioritize your growth and stay true to your values, you're less likely to be swayed by external negativity. By cultivating strong self-esteem and clear boundaries, you create a buffer against the effects of envy and falsehood. Finally, remember that recognizing these behaviors is not about cutting people out of your life at the first sign of imperfection. No one is immune to moments of envy or dishonesty, ourselves included. The goal is to identify patterns and make thoughtful decisions about how much energy to invest in a relationship. When someone consistently exhibits envious or deceitful behavior, it may be necessary to distance yourself. But when these behaviors are occasional and followed by genuine accountability, there may be an opportunity for growth and deeper connection. In the following sections, we'll explore 10 specific ways to recognize envy and falsehood in others. These insights, grounded in Stoic philosophy, will empower you to navigate relationships with wisdom and confidence. By understanding these behaviors, you'll not only protect your peace, but also cultivate an environment where authenticity and respect can thrive. In other cases, inconsistent praise may be a tool of manipulation. Individuals who operate from falsehood may use praise strategically to gain favor or control. For example, a co-worker might compliment your work to your face, but criticize it behind your back, hoping to position themselves as more competent in the eyes of others. Similarly, a friend might shower you with admiration in public settings, but dismiss or downplay your efforts in private. Recognizing the signs, detecting inconsistent praise requires attention to patterns in behavior and communication. Here are some common signs. Contradictory statements. Pay attention to whether someone's words align with their actions. For example, they might praise your creativity in one conversation, but later dismiss your ideas as impractical. Selective praise. Notice if someone's admiration only surfaces in specific contexts, such as when others are watching or when it benefits them. Genuine praise is consistent, regardless of the audience or circumstances. Backhanded compliments. Inconsistent praise often takes the form of backhanded compliments, which appear positive on the surface but contain underlying negativity. For instance, saying, "You're surprisingly good at this," for someone with your background implies doubt rather than genuine admiration. Undermining after praising. Be wary of individuals who praise you in one moment but subtly undermine you in the next. This could involve questioning your abilities, highlighting your mistakes, or shifting the focus away from your achievements. The emotional impact. Inconsistent praise can create confusion and doubt, especially if it comes from someone you trust or value. Over time, this behavior may lead to erosion of self-confidence. Repeatedly receiving mixed messages about your abilities can make you question your worth or competence. Strained relationships. Inconsistent praise undermines trust, making it difficult to feel secure in your interactions with the individual. Emotional fatigue. Trying to interpret or navigate erratic behavior can be draining, leaving you feeling emotionally depleted. Stoicism offers valuable insights for addressing these challenges. The philosophy teaches us to separate our sense of self-worth from external validation. As Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By focusing on your intrinsic value and achievements, you can maintain your confidence and clarity, regardless of others' behavior. Responding to inconsistent praise. When faced with inconsistent praise, it's important to approach the situation thoughtfully and strategically. Here are some practical steps. Observe without reacting. Avoid jumping to conclusions or reacting emotionally. Instead, take a step back and observe the individual's behavior over time. Look for patterns and consistency in their actions. Clarify intentions. If the behavior persists, consider addressing it directly but tactfully. For example, you might say, "I've noticed some mixed messages in our conversations. Can we clarify how you feel about this?" This approach encourages open communication and allows you to gauge their response. Set boundaries. If inconsistent praise becomes a recurring issue, establish boundaries to protect your emotional well-being. This might involve limiting your interactions with the individual or choosing not to seek their validation. Focus on self-validation. Cultivate a strong sense of self-worth by celebrating your accomplishments and recognizing your strengths. By relying on internal validation, you reduce your dependence on others' opinions. Real-life examples. Inconsistent praise is prevalent across various contexts, from personal relationships to professional environments. Let's explore a few examples to illustrate how this behavior manifests and how you can address it. In the workplace, imagine a manager who frequently praises your contributions during team meetings, but privately criticizes your performance to higher-ups. This behavior might stem from their insecurity or fear of being overshadowed. To address this, document your accomplishments and seek feedback from multiple sources to ensure a balanced perspective on your work. Among friends, a friend might enthusiastically support your new venture in public but express doubts or dismissive comments in private. This could indicate envy or unresolved feelings about their own path. In this case, consider discussing your observations with them and setting boundaries if necessary. In romantic relationships, a partner who alternates between admiration and criticism can create emotional turmoil. For example, they might compliment your appearance one day, but make disparaging remarks the next. Addressing this behavior requires open communication and a willingness to explore underlying issues together. Cultivating resilience. Recognizing and addressing inconsistent praise is not just about managing external relationships. It's also about strengthening your internal resilience. Here are some strategies to cultivate a stoic mindset in the face of this behavior. Practice emotional detachment. Learn to detach your self-worth from others' opinions. Remind yourself that their behavior reflects their internal state, not your value. Focus on your values. Anchor yourself in your principles and goals. By staying true to your values, you can maintain a sense of purpose and direction, regardless of external feedback. Seek supportive connections. Surround yourself with individuals who offer genuine encouragement and constructive feedback. These relationships will provide a solid foundation for your growth and resilience. The long-term perspective. Inconsistent praise can be a challenging behavior to navigate, but it also offers an opportunity for growth. By learning to recognize and respond to this behavior, you develop greater self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and resilience. Over time, these skills empower you to build stronger, more authentic connections and protect your peace of mind. Stoicism teaches us that external events and opinions are beyond our control, but our responses to them are entirely within our power. By approaching inconsistent praise with a stoic mindset, you can rise above the confusion and negativity it may create. Instead of being swayed by others' erratic behavior, you remain steadfast in your sense of self, grounded in your values and principles. Ultimately, recognizing and addressing inconsistent praise is about honoring your worth and surrounding yourself with authenticity. It's a reminder that you deserve relationships built on trust, respect, and mutual growth, and that cultivating these connections begins with your own commitment to truth and integrity. Passive-aggressive comments. Passive-aggressive comments are one of the most insidious forms of communication. They often appear harmless or even polite on the surface, but underneath they carry an edge of resentment, envy, or criticism. These remarks can leave you feeling uneasy, unsure of the other person's intentions, and questioning your own reactions. Understanding and addressing passive-aggressive behavior is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships and safeguarding your peace of mind. The nature of passive aggression. Passive-aggressive comments are a way for individuals to express negative feelings indirectly, rather than confronting issues openly. This behavior can stem from a variety of factors, including fear of conflict, insecurity, or a desire to undermine someone without taking responsibility for their words. By cloaking hostility in politeness or humor, passive-aggressive individuals often leave their targets unsure of how to respond. For example, someone might say, "Oh, you're so lucky, everything always works out for you," implying that your success is undeserved. While the comment appears to be a compliment, it carries an undertone of resentment or jealousy. These types of remarks can be especially damaging because they are difficult to address without seeming overly sensitive or defensive. Recognizing passive-aggressive comments. Identifying passive-aggressive behavior requires attentiveness to subtle cues. Here are some common types of passive-aggressive comments. Backhanded compliments. These are remarks that sound like praise but include an implied criticism. For example, "You look great today. It's such a nice change from your usual look." Sarcasm disguised as humor. Passive-aggressive individuals often use sarcasm to express hostility while maintaining plausible deniability. For instance, "Oh, I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually. You're the genius after all." Subtle digs. These are indirect criticisms or negative comments delivered in a way that makes them hard to confront. For example, "It must be nice to have so much free time to focus on yourself." Veiled blame. Passive-aggressive individuals may shift responsibility onto others through comments like, "I guess I'll have to do it myself since no one else is willing to help." Feigning ignorance or forgetfulness. This involves pretending not to understand or remember something as a way to avoid accountability. For example, "Oh, I didn't realize you needed that done today. You should have been clearer." The emotional impact of passive-aggressive behavior. Passive-aggressive comments can be emotionally draining and undermine your confidence over time. Because these remarks are often subtle or ambiguous, they can make you second-guess yourself and wonder if you're overreacting. This uncertainty can lead to feelings of frustration, self-doubt, and even resentment. In professional settings, passive-aggressive behavior can create a toxic work environment, eroding trust and collaboration among team members. In personal relationships, it can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and emotional distance. Addressing passive aggression is essential for fostering open, honest communication and building stronger connection. Understanding the root causes. To effectively address passive-aggressive behavior, it's important to understand its underlying causes. People often resort to passive aggression as a way to cope with negative emotions they feel unable or unwilling to express directly. Common root causes include fear of confrontation. Many people use passive-aggressive comments to avoid conflict while still expressing their dissatisfaction or resentment. Low self-esteem. Passive-aggressive individuals may struggle with feelings of inadequacy, leading them to undermine others to boost their own sense of worth. Envy or jealousy, resentment toward someone's success, happiness, or qualities can manifest as passive aggression. Cultural or familial influences. In some cultures or families, direct confrontation is discouraged, leading individuals to express negative emotions indirectly. Unresolved emotional issues, past traumas, unresolved grievances, or unspoken frustrations can contribute to passive-aggressive behavior. Responding to passive-aggressive comments. When you encounter passive-aggressive remarks, it's natural to feel frustrated or defensive. However, reacting impulsively can escalate the situation or give the other person power over your emotions. Instead, approach the situation with a calm, thoughtful response. Here are some strategies to consider. Acknowledge your feelings. Before responding, take a moment to identify how the comment made you feel. Recognizing your emotions helps you approach the situation with clarity and self-awareness. Maintain composure, stay calm, and avoid reacting emotionally. Responding with anger or sarcasm may reinforce the other person's behavior or escalate the conflict. Seek clarity. Address the comment directly but tactfully. For example, you might say, "That's an interesting remark. Can you clarify what you mean by that?" This approach forces the I. Use I statements. Express your feelings in a way that emphasizes your perspective rather than accusing the other person. For instance, "I felt a bit uncomfortable with that comment. Could we talk about it?" Set boundaries. If passive-aggressive behavior persists, establish clear boundaries to protect your emotional well-being. Communicate your expectations and limits assertively, but respectfully. Real-life scenarios. Passive-aggressive comments can occur in various contexts, from the workplace to personal relationships. Let's explore some examples and how to address them effectively. Workplace scenario. Imagine a co-worker frequently makes sarcastic remarks about your achievements, such as, "Oh, another award. You're really collecting them, aren't you?" To address this, you could say, "I'm sensing some mixed feelings in your comment. Is there something you'd like to discuss?" This approach encourages open dialogue and discourages further passive aggression. Family dynamics. A family member might say, "It must be nice to have so much time to focus on yourself. I'm always too busy to even think about that." Responding with empathy can help diffuse the tension. "It sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed. Is there something I can do to help?" Friendship challenges. Mwah. A friend might comment, "Wow, you're really lucky everything works out for you," implying that your success is undeserved. You could respond by saying, "I've worked hard to get here, but I understand it might seem different from the outside. Let's talk about it." Cultivating a Stoic mindset. Stoicism provides valuable tools for navigating passive-aggressive behavior with grace and resilience. By focusing on what lies within your control, your thoughts, emotions, and responses, you can protect your peace of mind and maintain your integrity. Here are some Stoic principles to guide you. Detach from external validation. Recognize that passive-aggressive comments are a reflection of the other person's state of mind, not your worth or abilities. As Marcus Aurelius advised, choose not to be harmed. And you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed. And you haven't been. Practice emotional regulation. When faced with passive aggression, pause and take a deep breath before responding. This allows you to approach the situation with clarity and composure. Focus on your values. Anchor yourself in your principles and goals. By staying true to your values, you can navigate passive aggression without compromising your integrity. Avoid retaliation. Responding with sarcasm or hostility only perpetuates the cycle of negativity. Instead, strive to model open, honest communication. The long-term perspective. Addressing passive-aggressive behavior is not just about resolving individual conflicts. It's about fostering a culture of authenticity and respect in your relationships. By recognizing and responding to passive-aggressive comments with clarity and compassion, you set a positive example and encourage healthier communication. Over time, cultivating a stoic mindset and practicing constructive responses will strengthen your resilience and emotional intelligence. You'll develop the confidence to navigate challenging interactions with grace, ensuring that passive aggression no longer disrupts your peace of mind or undermines your relationships. Ultimately, dealing with passive-aggressive comments is an opportunity for growth, both for yourself and for those around you. By approaching these situations thoughtfully and strategically, you contribute to a more honest, respectful, and harmonious world. Lack of genuine support. One of the clearest indicators of envy or falsehood in others is a lack of genuine support for your goals, achievements, or personal growth. Genuine support is marked by consistent encouragement, shared joy in your successes, and a willingness to stand by you through challenges. When someone's support feels conditional, superficial, or inconsistent, it often reflects underlying feelings of envy, competition, or self-interest. Understanding the signs of insincere support and learning how to navigate such dynamics are crucial for protecting your emotional well-being and fostering meaningful relationships. What does genuine support look like? Before diving into the lack of genuine support, it's important to understand what authentic support entails. True supporters share in your victories without hesitation, encourage you during difficult times, and celebrate your growth even when it doesn't directly benefit them. They value your happiness and success for its own sake, not for how it might serve their agenda. Genuine support comes from a place of love, respect, and self-assurance, free from envy or ulterior motives. For instance, a friend who genuinely supports you will celebrate your promotions or achievements wholeheartedly without comparing them to their own progress. Provide honest feedback that helps you grow, without veiling criticism as helpful advice to undermine your confidence. Offer encouragement when you face setbacks, rather than dismissing your struggles or making them about themselves. In contrast, a lack of genuine support often manifests in subtle but telling ways that undermine your confidence or diminish the significance of your achievements. Recognizing the signs of insincere support, minimizing your achievements. Someone lacking genuine support might downplay your accomplishments by framing them as trivial or undeserved. For example, they might say, "Well, anyone could have done that if they had the same resources," or "You just got lucky." These remarks aim to diminish your sense of pride and prevent others from celebrating your success. Shifting the focus. When you share good news, such as a promotion or personal milestone, a supportive person will celebrate with you. However, someone who lacks genuine support might redirect the conversation to themselves. For example, they could respond with, "That's great, but let me tell you about what happened to me," effectively sidelining your moment. Backhanded compliments. As with passive-aggressive comments, insincere supporters often resort to backhanded compliments that disguise their envy. Phrases like, "I'm impressed you managed that, considering how busy you always are," or "I didn't think you'd pull it off, but good job," are designed to undermine your confidence while appearing supportive on the surface. Avoidance during success. Another hallmark of false support is a noticeable absence when you achieve something significant. Instead of celebrating with you, they might distance themselves or avoid acknowledging your success altogether. This behavior often stems from envy or discomfort with your progress. Lack of encouragement in challenging times. Genuine supporters lift you up when you face difficulties. In contrast, Insincere supporters might dismiss your struggles, offer unhelpful advice, or even subtly blame you for your challenges. Their lack of encouragement reveals their inability to empathize or invest in your well-being. Emotional impact of insincere support. A lack of genuine support can be emotionally draining, especially when it comes from someone you trust or value. Over time, this behavior can lead to erosion of trust. If someone's support feels insincere, it's difficult to rely on them during critical moments. This can strain relationships and create a sense of isolation. Self-doubt, repeated exposure to minimizing remarks, or backhanded compliments can chip away at your confidence, making you question the validity of your achievements. Emotional fatigue. Navigating relationships with insincere supporters requires constant vigilance and energy, which can leave you feeling exhausted. Stoic insights on handling false support. Stoicism offers timeless wisdom for navigating relationships marked by insincere support. The philosophy teaches us to focus on what lies within our control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions, and to remain unaffected by external negativity. Here are some Stoic principles to guide you. Don't seek validation. When Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Genuine confidence comes from within, not from others' approval. By grounding your sense of worth in your own values and efforts, you become less vulnerable to insincere support. Observe without judgment. Epictetus advises, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Instead of reacting emotionally to false support, take a step back and observe the individual's behavior objectively. Their actions reveal their character, not yours. Focus on your growth. Seneca writes, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Use encounters with insincere supporters as opportunities for self-reflection and growth. What can you learn about setting boundaries or cultivating resilience? Strategies for addressing false support. Acknowledge your feelings. When you sense a lack of genuine support, take time to reflect on how it makes you feel. Recognizing your emotions helps you approach the situation with clarity and composure. Communicate your needs. In some cases, the individual may not be aware of their behavior. Consider having an open, honest conversation about how their actions affect you. For example, you might say, "When you downplay my achievements, it feels like you're not supportive. I value your encouragement and would like to understand how you feel." Set boundaries. If the behavior persists, establish boundaries to protect your emotional well-being. This might involve limiting your interactions with the individual or choosing not to share certain aspects of your life with them. Seek genuine connections. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Building a network of authentic supporters creates a strong foundation for your growth and resilience. In family relationships, a family member who rarely acknowledges your achievements or offers encouragement during challenges may have unresolved feelings about their own path. While you can't change their perspective, you can choose how much weight to give their opinions. Building resilience. Encountering false support is an inevitable part of life, but it also presents an opportunity for growth. By focusing on your values, cultivating self-awareness, and practicing emotional detachment, you can navigate these relationships with grace and confidence. Remember, your worth is not determined by others' ability to recognize it. The Stoic perspective reminds us that external events and opinions are beyond our control, but our responses to them are entirely within our power. By embodying this principle, you can rise above insincere support and continue on your path with clarity and purpose. The long-term perspective. Over time, recognizing and addressing false support strengthens your ability to build meaningful connections and maintain emotional well-being. By surrounding yourself with genuine supporters and setting boundaries with those who lack authenticity, you create an environment where trust and mutual growth can flourish. Ultimately, the presence of insincere support is not a reflection of your worth, but an opportunity to refine your relationships and deepen your understanding of human nature. Through self-awareness, resilience, and a commitment to authenticity, you can navigate these challenges and emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your values. Exaggerated flattery. Exaggerated flattery is a subtle yet manipulative behavior that can undermine trust and relationships. While compliments are a natural part of human interaction, flattery that feels excessive or insincere often serves ulterior motives. Understanding exaggerated flattery, its signs, and its underlying intentions is essential for maintaining authentic connections and protecting your peace of mind. What is exaggerated flattery? Exaggerated flattery goes beyond genuine praise and veers into over-the-top adulation. It's often used to manipulate, gain favor, or mask underlying envy or deceit. Unlike sincere compliments, which are specific and heartfelt, exaggerated flattery can feel excessive, generalized, or transactional. The individual offering such flattery might not truly believe what they're saying. Instead, they're leveraging their words to achieve a personal agenda. For example, a co-worker might say, "You're absolutely the smartest person I've ever met," in an attempt to secure your help on a project or gain your approval. While the words seem kind on the surface, their intent is self-serving rather than genuine. Recognizing the signs of exaggerated flattery. Identifying exaggerated flattery requires attentiveness to patterns and context. Here are some common indicators. Overly broad statements. Genuine compliments tend to focus on specific qualities or actions. Flattery, on the other hand, often relies on sweeping generalizations, such as, "You're amazing at everything you do," or "No one could ever match your brilliance." These statements lack depth and specificity. Frequent and repetitive praise. While consistent encouragement is valuable, excessive praise that feels repetitive or contrived can signal flattery. For instance, someone might constantly compliment you in every conversation, regardless of the context or your actions. Timing that feels opportunistic. Flattery often coincides with moments when the flatterer stands to gain something. For example, a colleague might shower you with praise right before asking for a favor, or a superior might excessively compliment you before delegating an undesirable task. Inconsistency. Flattery can be inconsistent. Someone might praise you effusively in one setting but fail to acknowledge your efforts in another. This inconsistency reveals that their compliments are situational rather than genuine. Physical or verbal exaggeration. Flatterers often accompany their words with exaggerated gestures, such as overly enthusiastic applause, frequent head nodding, or an uncomfortably long list of accolades. These behaviors can feel performative rather than sincere. Emotional impact of exaggerated flattery. While exaggerated flattery might seem harmless, it can have negative consequences for both the receiver and the relationship. Over time, this behavior can create distrust. Excessive praise that feels insincere can make you question the individual's authenticity and intention. Erotic confidence. Constant flattery might lead you to wonder whether the compliments are genuine, creating self-doubt or discomfort. Strain relationships. Relationships built on manipulation rather than authenticity lack a solid foundation and are unlikely to withstand challenges. Understanding the motivations behind exaggerated flattery. People resort to exaggerated flattery for various reasons, many of which stem from their own insecurities or desires. Common motivations include taking favor, loss. Flatterers often use excessive praise to gain your approval or secure your cooperation. For instance, a coworker might compliment your leadership skills in hopes of being assigned to a desirable project. Masking envy. Envious individuals may use exaggerated flattery as a way to conceal their true feelings. By praising you excessively, they might attempt to deflect attention from their own insecurities or resentments. Manipulation. Flattery can be a tool for manipulation, allowing individuals to influence your decisions or actions subtly. For example, someone might use excessive praise to make you feel indebted to them. Redirect the conversation. Shift the focus to a more neutral or collaborative topic. For instance, if a colleague offers excessive praise, you might respond with, "I'm glad to contribute to the team. Let's talk about how we can tackle the next step together." Address the behavior directly. If flattery becomes a recurring issue, consider addressing it openly but tactfully. For example, you could say, "I've noticed you've been very complimentary lately. Is there something specific on your mind?" This approach encourages honesty and transparency. Set boundaries. If the behavior feels manipulative or uncomfortable, establish clear boundaries. Politely but firmly communicate your preferences, such as, "I value genuine feedback more than praise." Let's focus on constructive conversations. Reflect on your own reactions. Consider why the flattery bothers you and whether it's affecting your perception of the individual or the relationship. Understanding your own emotions can help you respond more effectively. Redirect the conversation. Shift the focus to a more neutral or collaborative topic. For instance, if a colleague offers excessive praise, you might respond with, "I'm glad to contribute to the team. Let's talk about how we can tackle the next step together." Address the behavior directly. If flattery becomes a recurring issue, consider addressing it openly but tactfully. For example, you could say, "I've noticed you've been very complimentary lately. Is there something specific on your mind?" This approach encourages honesty and transparency. Set boundaries. If the behavior feels manipulative or uncomfortable, establish clear boundaries. Politely but firmly communicate your preferences, such as, "I value genuine feedback more than praise." Let's focus on constructive conversations. Reflect on your own reactions. Consider why the flattery bothers you and whether it's affecting your perception of the individual or the relationship. Understanding your own emotions can help you respond more effectively. Stoic insights on flattery. Stoicism offers valuable guidance for navigating exaggerated flattery with composure and integrity. By focusing on your internal values and detaching from external validation, you can maintain your sense of self-worth regardless of others' behavior. Here are some Stoic principles to consider. Seek inner validation. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the approval of such men, who do not even stand well in their own eyes, has no value for us. True confidence comes from within, not from others' praise. Practice emotional detachment. When faced with flattery, avoid becoming overly attached to the compliment or the individual offering it. Instead, view it as an external event that does not define your worth. Ultimately, exaggerated flattery is not a reflection of your worth, but an opportunity to deepen your understanding of human nature and refine your communication skills. Through self-awareness, composure, and a commitment to authenticity, you can navigate flattery with confidence and grace, ensuring that your relationships are built on a foundation of trust and sincerity. Gossip and backbiting. Gossip and backbiting are behaviors rooted in envy, insecurity, and a desire to undermine others. These actions erode trust, create divisions, and foster negativity in personal and professional relationships. While gossip often appears as harmless chatter, it can quickly escalate into damaging rumors and betrayal. Recognizing and addressing gossip and backbiting is essential for maintaining a positive and supportive environment. Understanding gossip and backbiting. Gossip typically involves sharing unverified or personal information about someone in their absence. It may appear harmless or even entertaining, but its underlying motivations often reveal deeper issues. People engage in gossip to feel superior, gain social acceptance, or distract from their own shortcomings. Similarly, backbiting is a more direct form of harm. It involves maliciously speaking ill of someone to tarnish their reputation. While gossip thrives on curiosity and speculation, backbiting is fueled by resentment or competition. Both behaviors can significantly damage relationships, creating an atmosphere of distrust and hostility. Recognizing gossip and backbiting. Identifying gossip and backbiting requires awareness and discernment. Here are common signs. Unverified information. Gossip often involves sharing details that are unconfirmed or based on hearsay. For example, I heard they're having issues at work without any factual basis. Negativity in tone. Gossip and backbiting are often characterized by a critical or disparaging tone. Instead of constructive discussion, the focus is on highlighting someone's flaws or misfortunes. Patterns of behavior. Those who gossip or backbite frequently tend to exhibit this behavior as a habit. If someone regularly speaks negatively about others, it's likely they engage in gossip. Absence of the subject. Gossip almost always happens in the absence of the person being discussed. This secrecy indicates a lack of accountability and an intention to avoid confrontation. Personal gain or group dynamics. Gossipers often use their words to gain favor, shift blame, or elevate their status within a group. For instance, you wouldn't believe what they said about you may be intended to sow discord and build alliances. The emotional and social impact. Gossip and backbiting can have far-reaching consequences, both for the individuals targeted and the community as a whole. Erosion of trust. When gossip spreads, trust between individuals breaks down. People may feel unsafe sharing personal information or expressing themselves openly. Damage to reputations. False or exaggerated claims can harm someone's credibility, relationships, and opportunities. Increased anxiety and paranoia. Knowing that gossip occurs can create a culture of fear and suspicion, where individuals constantly worry about what others might be saying. Division and conflict. Gossip and backbiting often pit people against each other, creating cliques, rivalries, and unnecessary drama. Stoic insights on gossip and backbiting. Stoicism provides valuable tools for navigating gossip and backbiting with wisdom and composure. By focusing on your own values and actions, you can rise above these behaviors and contribute to a more positive environment. Focus on virtue. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This principle encourages us to evaluate our words and actions through the lens of honesty and integrity. Avoid anticipation. Epictetus advises, keep silent for the most part, or if you speak, say only what is necessary, and in a few words. Refusing to engage in gossip demonstrates self-control and sets an example for others. Judge actions, not words. Seneca writes, the highest good is the harmony of the soul. Instead of reacting to gossip or backbiting, focus on maintaining inner peace and judging people by their actions rather than rumors. Responding to gossip and backbiting. When confronted with gossip or backbiting, It's important to handle the situation thoughtfully. Reacting impulsively or defensively can escalate the issue, while ignoring it entirely may allow the behavior to persist. Here are strategies for addressing these behaviors. Redirect the conversation. If someone begins to gossip, gently steer the discussion toward a more constructive topic. For example, you might say, "Let's focus on how we can support them instead." Express discomfort. Let the individual know that you're uncomfortable with gossip. You could say, "I prefer not to talk about others when they're not here to share their perspective." Verify information. If you hear gossip about someone, seek clarification from the person directly. This approach not only prevents the spread of misinformation, but also fosters open communication. Set boundaries. If gossip or backbiting becomes a recurring issue, establish boundaries to protect your peace of mind. Limit interactions with individuals who consistently engage in negative talk. Model positive behavior. Lead by example by refraining from gossip and focusing on constructive, respectful communication. Encourage others to do the same by highlighting the benefits of positivity and trust. Building a gossip-free environment. Fostering a culture of trust and respect requires a commitment to honest, open communication. Here are steps to create a gossip-free environment. Encourage transparency. Promote an open dialogue by creating spaces where individuals feel safe sharing their thoughts and concerns directly. Celebrate positivity. Focus on highlighting achievements, strengths, and shared goals rather than dwelling on shortcomings or conflicts. Hold others accountable. Remind others of the importance of constructive communication when gossip arises. For example, let's be mindful of how we talk about others. Cultivate self-awareness. Reflect on your own communication habits and ensure that your words align with your values. Avoid participating in or perpetuating gossip. Gossip and backbiting are destructive behaviors that undermine trust, relationships, and personal growth. By recognizing these behaviors and addressing them with compassion and firmness, you can foster an environment of respect and integrity. Over time, refusing to engage in gossip not only strengthens your own character, but also inspires others to do the same. As Stoicism teaches, we cannot control the actions of others, but we can choose how we respond. By embodying honesty, respect, and composure, you set a powerful example and contribute to a more harmonious and supportive world. Competitive behavior. Competitive behavior, when rooted in envy or insecurity, often undermines relationships and creates unnecessary tension. While healthy competition can inspire growth and innovation, excessive or toxic competitiveness manifests as a constant need to outdo others, diminish their achievements, or turn every interaction into a contest. Recognizing and addressing this behavior is essential for fostering trust and mutual respect in personal and professional relationships. Understanding competitive behavior. At its core, competitive behavior stems from a desire for validation, recognition, or superiority. This need often arises from feelings of inadequacy or fear of being overlooked. Individuals exhibiting toxic competitiveness may feel threatened by the success or progress of others, leading them to engage in behaviors that prioritize their own status over genuine connection or collaboration. For instance, a colleague might consistently highlight their own achievements in team meetings, overshadowing others' contributions. In friendships, someone may downplay your successes or constantly compare their experiences to yours, creating an unspoken rivalry rather than mutual support. Recognizing competitive behavior. Competitive behavior can manifest in various ways, some overt and others more subtle. Here are common signs to watch for. Constant comparisons. A competitive individual frequently compares their achievements possessions or experiences to yours, often framing their own as superior. For example, your trip sounded nice, but when I went, we stayed at a 5-star resort, diminishing others' achievements. Instead of celebrating your successes, they might downplay them with remarks like, "That's good, but it's not that impressive compared to what I did last year." One-upping. A hallmark of competitive behavior is the need to one-up others. No matter what you share, they respond with a story or achievement that overshadows yours. For example, you ran a 5. I just finished training for a marathon. Seeking validation. Competitive individuals often fish for compliments or seek constant affirmation of their superiority. They might repeatedly highlight their achievements, seeking your acknowledgement, undermining others. They may subtly or overtly undermine your efforts or ideas, questioning your competence or downplaying your contributions. For instance, "Are you sure that's the best approach? It worked better when I handled it this way," turning collaboration into rivalry. In team settings, they may frame collaborative efforts as competitions, focusing on outperforming others rather than achieving shared goals. Stoic insights on navigating competitive behavior. Stoicism offers valuable guidance for dealing with competitive individuals. By focusing on your own values and actions, you can maintain composure and prevent their behavior from disrupting your peace of mind. Here are key Stoic principles to consider. Focus on what you can control. Epictetus reminds us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Instead of trying to change a competitive individual's behavior, focus on managing your own reactions and staying true to your values. Avoid comparison. Marcus Aurelius advises, do not waste the remaining part of your life in thoughts about others. Resist the urge to compare yourself to others, and instead measure your progress against your own goals and principles. Maintain your integrity. Seneca emphasizes the importance of living according to your principles, regardless of external pressures. By prioritizing authenticity and collaboration over competition, you set a positive example for others. Responding to competitive behavior. When dealing with a competitive individual, it's important to approach the situation with clarity and composure. Here are strategies for addressing their behavior constructively. Acknowledge their perspective. Sometimes competitive behavior stems from a fear of being undervalued. Acknowledging their contributions or strengths can help diffuse tension and create a more collaborative dynamic. For example, "Your insights on this project have been really valuable," said boundaries. If their behavior becomes disruptive, establish clear boundaries to protect your well-being. For instance, limit conversations about achievements or redirect competitive remarks to focus on shared goals. Redirect the focus. Shift the conversation away from competition and toward collaboration. For example, instead of comparing our approaches, let's brainstorm ways to combine our strengths. Address the behavior directly. If their competitiveness persists, consider addressing it openly but diplomatically. For example, "I've noticed that our conversations often feel competitive. I value our relationship and would prefer we focus on supporting each other." Focus on your own growth. Avoid being drawn into their competitive mindset. Concentrate on your own goals and progress, and celebrate your achievements without seeking external validation. Real-life examples. In the workplace, a colleague consistently tries to overshadow your contributions during meetings. To address this, document your accomplishments and ensure they're visible to your manager or team. During discussions, redirect the focus to collective achievements by saying, "I'm glad our team's efforts have been successful." Among friends, a friend constantly compares their milestones to yours, creating a sense of rivalry. Redirect the conversation by expressing genuine interest in their experiences while maintaining pride in your own journey. For example, "That's great to hear about your promotion. I'm really excited about the progress I've made in my role too." In family relationships, a sibling frequently competes for attention or recognition, turning family gatherings into contests. Address this dynamic by emphasizing shared successes and encouraging mutual support. For instance, "I think we both bring unique strengths to the table. It's great to see how we've both grown." Fostering healthy competition. While toxic competitiveness is harmful, healthy competition can inspire growth and innovation when approached with the right mindset. Here are ways to foster constructive competition. Celebrate others' successes. Genuine appreciation for others' achievements creates a positive and supportive environment. Acknowledge their progress and use it as inspiration for your own growth. Focus on collaboration. Frame competition as an opportunity to learn from and work alongside others. For example, in a professional setting, suggest joint projects that leverage everyone's strengths. Set personal goals. Compete with yourself by setting goals that challenge you to grow and improve. Measure your progress against your own benchmarks, rather than comparing yourself to others. Maintain perspective. Recognize that success is not a zero-sum game. Celebrate your achievements and those of others, understanding that everyone's journey is unique. The long-term perspective. Addressing competitive behavior is not just about managing specific interactions. It's about cultivating an environment of mutual respect and collaboration. By recognizing and responding to toxic competitiveness, you protect your peace of mind and foster healthier, more authentic relationships. Over time, practicing Stoic principles and prioritizing collaboration over rivalry strengthens your resilience and emotional intelligence. You'll develop the confidence to navigate competitive dynamics with grace, ensuring that your focus remains on growth, integrity, and shared success. Ultimately, toxic competitiveness reflects the insecurities of the individual exhibiting it. By responding with empathy, composure, and a commitment to your own values, you can rise above their behavior and continue to thrive. Reluctance to share knowledge. The reluctance to share knowledge is a behavior that often stems from insecurity, fear of being overshadowed, or a scarcity mindset. While collaboration and knowledge sharing are fundamental to growth and mutual success, individuals who hoard information can create barriers to progress and weaken trust within relationships. Recognizing this behavior and addressing its underlying causes is essential for fostering a culture of openness and mutual respect. Understanding reluctance to share knowledge. Knowledge hoarding can manifest in various contexts, from professional environments to personal relationships. In professional settings, a colleague might withhold important details about a project to maintain a perceived advantage. In personal relationships, someone might refrain from offering advice or guidance to preserve a sense of superiority. This reluctance often reflects deeper emotional or psychological factors such as fear of losing value. Some individuals equate their knowledge with their worth. By withholding information, they believe they can maintain control or retain their importance within a group. Envy or insecurity. Reluctance to share knowledge can stem from envy or insecurity. An individual might fear that by helping others succeed, their own accomplishments will be diminished. Scarcity mindset. A scarcity mindset assumes that success is a limited resource. People with this perspective may believe that sharing knowledge reduces their chances of achieving recognition or rewards. Lack of trust. In some cases, individuals may withhold information due to a lack of trust in others. They might fear that their knowledge will be misused or that others will take credit for their contributions. Cultural or organizational norms. In certain environments, knowledge hoarding may be encouraged or normalized as a way to maintain power dynamics or competitive advantage. Recognizing the signs. Identifying reluctance to share knowledge requires attentiveness to subtle behaviors. Common signs include withholding key information. An individual may intentionally omit important details that are necessary for others to succeed or complete a task effectively. Avoiding collaboration. Reluctant individuals might resist opportunities to collaborate or share resources, preferring to work independently to maintain control. Vague or evasive responses. When asked for guidance or input, they might provide vague or incomplete answers, making it difficult for others to proceed. Resentment toward questions. A reluctance to share knowledge can manifest as irritation or defensiveness when others seek advice or clarification. Exclusive information sharing. They might selectively share knowledge with certain individuals, creating an environment of favoritism or exclusion. The impact of reluctance to share knowledge. When knowledge is withheld, the consequences can be far-reaching, affecting individuals, teams, and relationships. Erosion of trust. Knowledge hoarding undermines trust, creating an atmosphere of suspicion and resentment. Stifled collaboration. A lack of openness can hinder teamwork, innovation, and problem-solving, as individuals are unable to access the resources they need. Missed opportunities. Valuable insights or ideas may go unshared, leading to missed opportunities for growth and success. Increased frustration. Those on the receiving end of knowledge hoarding often feel frustrated, undervalued, or excluded. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of wisdom, generosity, and collaboration. By cultivating these virtues, individuals can overcome the insecurities or fears that lead to knowledge hoarding. Key Stoic principles include: embrace a growth mindset. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Sharing knowledge not only benefits others, but also deepens your own understanding and fosters personal growth. Focus on the greater good. Epictetus reminds us, we are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of the upper and lower teeth. By prioritizing collective success over individual gain, we contribute to a harmonious and productive environment. Cultivate inner confidence. Seneca advises, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor. Sharing knowledge reflects a sense of abundance and confidence in your own abilities. Addressing reluctance to share knowledge. When faced with knowledge-hoarding behavior, it's important to address the issue thoughtfully and constructively. Here are strategies to consider. Lead by example. Demonstrate the value of openness and collaboration by sharing your own knowledge generously. This sets a positive example and encourages others to follow suit. Foster trust. Build trust by creating an environment where individuals feel safe sharing their knowledge without fear of judgment or exploitation. Acknowledge and credit their contributions to reinforce positive behavior. Encourage reciprocity. Emphasize the mutual benefits of knowledge sharing, highlighting how collaboration leads to shared success and growth. Address the behavior directly. If someone consistently withholds information, consider having an open and respectful conversation. For example, I've noticed that you seem hesitant to share insights on this project. Is there something that's making you uncomfortable? Provide incentives. In professional settings, establish systems that reward knowledge sharing, such as recognition programs or opportunities for career advancement. Cultivating a knowledge-sharing mindset. Overcoming reluctance to share knowledge requires a shift in perspective and behavior. Here are steps to foster a culture of openness. Adopt an abundance mindset. or charity, boldly stairs, but at all your vitals little trusted the high. Recognize that sharing knowledge does not diminish your value. It enhances your ability to contribute and grow. Celebrate contributions. All Moses celebrate Isles Herode, and heals and take bad the decade. Acknowledge and celebrate the knowledge and expertise of others, reinforcing the importance of collaboration. Invest in relationships. Strong relationships built on trust and mutual respect create a foundation for open and honest communication. Focus on long-term impact. Sharing knowledge not only benefits others in the short term, but also builds a legacy of collaboration and growth. The long-term perspective. Reluctance to share knowledge is a behavior that hinders both individual and collective progress. By addressing its underlying causes and fostering a culture of openness, we can create environments where trust, collaboration, and mutual success thrive. Stoicism teaches us that wisdom is most valuable when shared. By embracing this principle, we not only enrich the lives of others, but also deepen our own understanding and resilience. In the end, true success lies not in what we hoard, but in what we give. Disguised Schadenfreude, or hidden pleasure in someone else's misfortune, is a subtle yet corrosive behavior that can erode trust and relationship. Unlike overt gloating, disguised Schadenfreude is cloaked in sympathy or concern, making it more difficult to identify. This behavior often stems from envy, insecurity, or unresolved personal struggles, and recognizing it is essential for maintaining healthy, authentic connections. Understanding disguised Schadenfreude. Disguised Schadenfreude is characterized by feigned empathy or concern that masks a person's true feelings of satisfaction over another's setbacks. This behavior can manifest in various ways, such as offering insincere sympathy while subtly highlighting the misfortune, exaggerating someone's struggles to draw attention to their failure. Recognizing disguised Schadenfreude. Detecting disguised Schadenfreude requires attention to both verbal and non-verbal cues. Common signs include overemphasis on the misfortune. The individual repeatedly brings up your setback, often in exaggerated terms, under the guise of showing concern. For instance, you must feel devastated after losing that client. I can't imagine how you're coping. Subtle smirks or smiles. Nonverbal cues, such as a slight smile or glint in the eye when discussing your challenges, can betray hidden satisfaction. Minimizing efforts while highlighting failure. They may downplay your efforts, framing your failure as inevitable or deserved. For example, at least you tried, even though it was a long shot. Comparing your setback to their success. Disguised Schadenfreude often includes subtle comparisons that elevate the other person's achievements while emphasizing your failure. For instance, when I faced a similar challenge, I managed to pull through, but I know it's not easy for everyone. Finding helplessness. They might claim they'd love to help you, but can't, further highlighting your misfortune. For example, I wish there was something I could do, but I'm so busy with my own successes right now. The emotional impact of disguised Schadenfreude. Experiencing disguised Schadenfreude from someone you trust can be disheartening and confusing. Over time, it may lead to erosion of trust. Detecting hidden satisfaction in someone's sympathy makes it difficult to rely on their support. Increased self-doubt. Repeated exposure to subtle digs or exaggerated focus on setbacks can undermine your confidence. Emotional isolation. Feeling unsupported or judged during challenging times can lead to withdrawal from relationships. Stoic insights on handling disguised Schadenfreude. Stoicism offers valuable guidance for navigating relationships marked by disguised Schadenfreude. By focusing on your inner strength and detaching from others' opinions, you can maintain composure and resilience. Key Stoic principles include: recognize the behavior without judgment. Epictetus teaches, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Instead of reacting emotionally to disguised schadenfreude, observe the behavior with objectivity. Prioritize your own growth. Marcus Aurelius advises, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Focus on your personal development rather than others' reactions to your challenges. Cultivate emotional resilience. Seneca emphasizes the importance of self-reliance and resilience. By developing inner confidence, you can withstand the negativity of others without losing your peace of mind. Responding to disguised schadenfreude. Addressing disguised schadenfreude requires tact and self-awareness. Here are strategies for handling this behavior constructively. Acknowledge their words without overreacting. Respond to their comments with calm and composure. For example, thank you for your concern. I'm focusing on finding solutions and moving forward. Redirect the conversation. Shift the focus away from your setback to prevent further probing or exaggeration. For instance, yes, it was a challenge, but I'm excited about what's next. How are things going for you? Address the behavior directly. If the disguised schadenfreude persists, consider addressing it openly but diplomatically. For example, I appreciate your concern, but I've noticed you often bring up my setbacks. It would mean a lot if we could focus on more positive topics. Said Bondaris. Limit interactions with individuals who consistently exhibit this behavior. Prioritize relationships that offer genuine support and encouragement. Real-life examples of disguised schadenfreude. In the workplace, a colleague comments on your missed promotion with exaggerated sympathy, saying, that must be so tough for you. I know how badly you wanted it. Redirect the conversation by focusing on your future plans. It was disappointing, but I'm looking forward to new opportunities. Among friends, a friend highlights your breakup repeatedly, masking their satisfaction with concern. I can't believe they left you. It's such a shame after all the effort you put in. Shift the focus by emphasizing your resilience. It's been a learning experience, and I'm excited about moving forward. In family relationships, a relative exaggerates your financial struggles during family gatherings, saying, it must be so hard to make ends meet these days. I don't know how you're managing. Politely redirect the conversation to a neutral topic. We all have challenges, but I'm managing fine. How is your new project going? Cultivating supportive relationships. Disguised schadenfreude highlights the importance of surrounding yourself with individuals who genuinely celebrate your successes and support you through challenges. Here are steps to cultivate supportive relationships. Seek authentic connections. Prioritize relationships with individuals who consistently offer genuine encouragement and empathy. Model positive behavior. Set an example by celebrating others' successes and offering sincere support during their challenges. Foster open communication. Create an environment where honesty and mutual respect thrive, reducing the likelihood of disguised behaviors. Reflect on your own actions. Ensure that your responses to others' setbacks or challenges are supportive and free of hidden satisfaction. The long-term perspective. Disguised schadenfreude, though subtle, can have a significant impact on relationships and emotional well-being. By recognizing and addressing this behavior, you protect your peace of mind and foster healthier, more authentic connections. Stoicism teaches us to rise above the opinions and behaviors of others, focusing instead on our own values and growth. By embodying this principle, you can navigate disguised schadenfreude with confidence and resilience, ensuring that your relationships are built on a foundation of trust and mutual respect. Repeated lies or exaggerations. Repeated lies or exaggerations can undermine trust and create an atmosphere of uncertainty in relationships. People who frequently distort the truth often have hidden motives, ranging from insecurity to a desire for control or admiration. Recognizing and addressing this behavior is essential for maintaining integrity and fostering genuine connections. Understanding repeated lies or exaggerations. Lies and exaggerations are tools individuals use to manipulate perceptions, either to elevate their own image or diminish someone else. Unlike occasional embellishments or white lies, repeated dishonesty reflects a pattern of behavior that erodes credibility and trust. The motivations behind such actions can vary. Insecurity. Individuals who feel inadequate may exaggerate their accomplishments or fabricate stories to compensate for their perceived shortcomings. Control or manipulation. Lies are often used to influence others' decisions, perceptions, or actions, giving the liar a sense of power or control. Desire for attention. Exaggerations can serve as a way to gain admiration or sympathy by creating a more dramatic or compelling narrative. Avoidance of responsibility. People may lie to evade accountability for their actions, shifting blame or creating excuses to justify their behavior. Recognizing the signs of repeated lies or exaggerations. Identifying patterns of dishonesty requires attentiveness to inconsistencies and behavioral cues. Common signs include inconsistent stories. The individual's accounts of events frequently change, with details that don't align or evolve over time. Overly dramatic narratives. Their stories often include exaggerated elements that seem implausible or overly sensationalized. Defensiveness when questioned. When confronted about inconsistencies, they become defensive, evasive, or attempt to deflect attention. Frequent blame shifting. My God, der du stage. Then I'm trying to guy. No, who. They regularly place responsibility for problems on others, avoiding accountability for their actions. Habitual excuses. A pattern of justifications or fabricated reasons for their behavior becomes evident over time. Emotional impact of repeated lies or exaggerations. Being on the receiving end of dishonesty can have significant emotional and relational consequences. Over time, this behavior can erode trust. Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Repeated lies or exaggerations make it difficult to believe anything the individual says. Create confusion. Inconsistent narratives and distorted truths can leave you questioning reality and doubting your perceptions. Foster resentment. Discovering dishonesty repeatedly can lead to feelings of anger, betrayal, and frustration. Impact self-esteem. When someone constantly lies or exaggerates, it can make you feel manipulated or undervalued. Stoic insights on handling dishonesty. Stoicism provides timeless wisdom for navigating relationships with dishonest individuals. By focusing on your own values and actions, you can maintain composure and integrity in the face of repeated lies or exaggerations. Key Stoic principles include detach from external opinions. Marcus Aurelius advises you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Focus on your inner peace rather than letting dishonesty disrupt your equilibrium. Seek the truth within. Seneca writes, truth will never be wished into something false. By remaining committed to honesty and authenticity, you can set an example for others and avoid becoming entangled in deceit. Avoid retaliation. Epictetus reminds us it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Resist the urge to retaliate or engage in dishonesty yourself, as this compromises your own principles. Responding to repeated lies or exaggerations. Addressing dishonesty requires a thoughtful and measured approach. Reacting impulsively or confrontationally can escalate the issue, while ignoring it may allow the behavior to persist. Here are strategies for handling repeated lies or exaggerations. Document patterns. Keep track of inconsistencies or instances of dishonesty. Having a clear record can help you identify patterns and provide evidence if needed. Seek clarity. Address discrepancies directly but tactfully. For example, I noticed your story about the project has changed. Can you clarify what happened? Set boundaries. Establish limits to protect yourself from further dishonesty. For instance, limit the information you share with the individual or avoid relying on them for critical matters. Prioritize honest communication. Model honesty in your own interactions and emphasize the value of transparency. For example, I've found that being straightforward helps avoid misunderstandings. I appreciate the same from you. Consider the relationship's value. If the pattern of dishonesty persists, evaluate whether the relationship aligns with your values and well-being. In some cases, distancing yourself may be necessary. Real-life examples of repeated lies or exaggerations. In the workplace, a colleague frequently exaggerates their role in team successes, taking credit for others' contributions. To address this, document your own accomplishments and ensure they're visible to supervisors. For example, I'm proud of the work I contributed to this project, particularly in coordinating the logistics. Among friends, a friend consistently embellishes stories to appear more impressive or dramatic. Gently redirect the conversation toward shared experiences or factual discussions. For instance, that's an interesting story. I'd love to hear more about what actually happened. In family dynamics, a family member habitually fabricates excuses to avoid responsibilities or shifts blame onto others. Address the behavior calmly, emphasizing the importance of accountability. It's important that we all take responsibility for our roles in this situation. Cultivating a culture of honesty. Fostering honesty requires intentional actions and a commitment to integrity. Here are steps to encourage transparency and authenticity in your relationships. Lead by example. Demonstrate honesty in your own words and actions, setting a standard for others to follow. Create safe spaces. Encourage open and honest communication by creating an environment where individuals feel comfortable sharing the truth without fear of judgment or reprisal. Celebrate truth-telling. Acknowledge and appreciate moments of honesty, reinforcing the value of transparency. Address dishonesty promptly. Confront dishonesty as it arises, emphasizing the importance of trust and integrity. The long-term perspective. Repeated lies or exaggerations can strain relationships and undermine trust, but they also offer an opportunity for growth and self-reflection. By addressing dishonesty with clarity, composure, and a commitment to your values, you protect your integrity and foster a culture of authenticity. Over time, practicing Stoic principles and prioritizing honest communication strengthens your resilience and emotional intelligence. You'll develop the confidence to navigate challenging relationships with grace, ensuring that your connections are built on a foundation of trust and mutual respect. Resistance to your growth. Resistance to your personal growth is a subtle yet profound form of envy or insecurity that others may exhibit when they feel threatened by your progress. This behavior often manifests as discouragement, passive-aggressive comments, or even outright opposition to your efforts to improve yourself. Recognizing and addressing this resistance is vital for maintaining your momentum and protecting your well-being. Understanding resistance to growth. At its core, resistance to growth stems from a fear of being left behind. When you strive to improve yourself, whether through education, career advancement, fitness, or personal development, it can shine a spotlight on others' stagnation or unmet goals. This reflection may lead them to act in ways that subtly or overtly discourage your progress. For example, someone might say, "Why are you spending so much time on that? You're already doing fine," or "Don't you think you're aiming a bit too high?" While these comments may seem benign, they often reveal underlying discomfort with your ambitions. Recognizing the signs of resistance. Resistance to growth can take many forms, from passive-aggressive remarks to more overt attempts to undermine your efforts. Here are common signs. Discouragement. They express doubt about your ability to succeed or question the value of your goals. For instance, do you really think you can handle that job promotion? Minimizing achievements. They downplay your accomplishments by framing them as luck or trivial efforts. For example, "It's great that you got the promotion, but I'm sure they were just filling a quota." Shifting focus. They redirect conversations about your growth to themselves, diminishing the significance of your efforts. For instance, "That's nice, but let me tell you about what I've been doing." Highlighting negatives. They emphasize the potential downsides or risks of your ambitions. For example, "Are you sure this new path won't be too stressful for you?" Sobre le sabotage. They take actions that hinder your progress, such as withholding support or resources you need to succeed. Emotional impact of resistance to growth. Experiencing resistance from those you care about can be disheartening and create inner conflict. Over time, it may lead to self-doubt. Hearing doubts from others can make you question your abilities and goals. Frustration. Facing repeated opposition to your efforts can be emotionally draining and discouraging. Strained relationships. Resistance to your growth can create tension and distance in your relationships, particularly if the behavior persists. Stoic insights on handling resistance. Stoicism provides timeless wisdom for navigating resistance to growth with composure and resilience. By focusing on your inner values and goals, you can rise above negativity and stay true to your path. Key Stoic principles include: focus on what you can control. Epictetus reminds us, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. Concentrate on your efforts and progress rather than others' reactions. Detach from external validation. Marcus Aurelius advises, it is not the actions of others which trouble us, but rather it is our thoughts about them. Your worth and progress are not determined by others' opinions. Lead by example. Seneca teaches, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. By staying committed to your growth, you inspire others to reflect on their own potential. Responding to resistance. When you encounter resistance to your growth, it's important to respond with empathy and firmness. Here are strategies for navigating these situations. Acknowledge their feelings. Resistance often stems from fear or insecurity. Acknowledging these emotions without judgment can help diffuse tension. For example, I understand this change might feel unexpected, but it's important to me. Set clear boundaries. Protect your goals by establishing boundaries around negative comments or behaviors. For instance, I'd appreciate it if we could focus on supportive conversations about my efforts. Redirect the conversation. My attendance force lane or come out. Shift discussions toward positive or constructive topics. For example, I'm excited about this new opportunity and would love to hear your thoughts on how I can make the most of it. Seek support elsewhere. Surround yourself with individuals who genuinely encourage your growth and share your values. Stay committed to your path. Remind yourself of your reasons for pursuing growth and focus on the progress you've made. Real-life examples of resistance to growth. In the workplace, a colleague discourages your efforts to pursue additional training, saying, "Why bother? It's not like it will make a difference." Respond by emphasizing your personal motivation. I am doing this to challenge myself and expand my skills. Among friends, a friend dismisses your decision to adopt a healthier lifestyle, saying, "You've always been fine the way you are." Redirect the conversation by sharing your excitement. I'm really enjoying this journey and the positive changes it's bringing. In family dynamics, a family member questions your choice to pursue higher education, saying, "Isn't it too late for that?" Address their concerns with confidence. It's never too late to learn and grow. This is something I'm passionate about. In romantic relationships, our partner expresses discomfort with your career ambitions, saying, "I'm worried this will take time away from us." Reassure them while reaffirming your goals. I value our time together and will make sure we balance everything. This goal is important to me too.
Fostering growth-oriented relationships to counteract resistance and build a supportive environment. Focus on cultivating relationships that prioritize mutual growth and encouragement. Communicate openly. Share your goals and motivations with those close to you, inviting their understanding and support. Celebrate progress together. Involve others in your journey by sharing milestones and expressing gratitude for their encouragement. Encourage their growth. Inspire others by supporting their goals and demonstrating a commitment to mutual development. Lead with empathy. Recognize that resistance often reflects internal struggles. Approach these situations with patience and compassion. The long-term perspective. Resistance to your growth can be challenging, but it also provides an opportunity to strengthen your resolve and deepen your understanding of human nature. By navigating this resistance with composure and empathy, you protect your progress and foster healthier, more supportive relationships. Stoicism teaches us that true growth comes from within. By focusing on your values and staying committed to your goals, you rise above negativity. And the same. Over time, your dedication to personal development will create a ripple effect, encouraging those around you to embrace their own potential and join you on the path to growth.